You sit down with a cup of coffee and a book you've been meaning to finish. Just a chapter or two. The light coming through the window is soft and golden. You read. You drift. At some point, you get up to refill your water and notice the light has changed. It's gray now. You check your phone. It's after 6. The whole day is behind you, and you can't account for it. There's a strange feeling in your chest. Part confusion, part guilt. It feels like you fell asleep while awake. If you've experienced this, you're not alone. This doesn't mean you're lazy or antisocial. For people who are more introspective or need more solitude than others, this kind of time slippage is remarkably common. It happens because of how human time perception actually works. Your brain doesn't have a perfect internal clock running in the background. It pieces together a sense of time from cues. External cues like conversations, meals, appointments. Internal cues like shifting attention or noticing transitions. These are the anchors that give time its shape. Without them, time becomes like a river without rocks. It flows smooth and unmarked, and you have no way of knowing how far you've traveled. When you're around others, anchors happen automatically. Someone asks a question. Lunch arrives. A meeting starts. Each moment creates a checkpoint. But when you're alone in a quiet environment, those checkpoints disappear. Nothing forces your attention to reset. So it doesn't. This effect strengthens when you're absorbed in something. Research suggests that during deep focus, the brain's time monitoring quiets down. Your attention narrows until minutes feel smaller because you're not counting them at all. This happens with reading, creative work, games, even cleaning. Some assume time loss only affects distracted minds, but it's often the opposite. It happens when focus becomes so complete that everything else fades. Uninterrupted environments amplify this. When no one knocks, no notification demands response, your brain has no reason to surface. The drift continues because nothing stops it. Certain soothing activities add another layer. Scrolling familiar content, rewatching comfort shows. These blur time tracking because they create no memorable milestones. One episode feels like the next. Hours pass in a soft haze. There's also absorption in your own thoughts. Rumination. The mind turning over worries, replaying conversations, rehearsing futures that may never happen. This thinking consumes hours without leaving any trace. You're not doing nothing, but you're not arriving anywhere either. Evening hours make it worse. When light dims and energy dips, boundaries blur further. No sharp transition pushes you to shift gears. Here's what matters. Not all of this is unhealthy. Sometimes losing track of time alone is genuinely restorative, a sign of autonomy. The question isn't whether it happens. It's how you feel when you come back. There's a difference between emerging from solitude feeling clearer and satisfied, and emerging heavier and guilty. If you remember what you did, if something moved forward, the solitude was serving you. But if hours feel blank, if responsibilities got avoided, if there's a sense of hiding rather than resting, that's worth noticing. Not judging. Just noticing. Productivity isn't the only measure of a well-spent hour. A mind that can wander and rest in its own company isn't failing. The issue isn't wandering itself. It's whether it's taking you somewhere you want to go. If you want gentle structure without rigidity, here are some options. Set a quiet timer every 45 minutes or so, not to jolt you, but as a soft reminder to check in. Build small rituals like making tea or stepping outside to create natural transitions. Keep a clock visible so you have access to time when you want it. Stay near natural light to let your body register the sun's movement. Decide in advance when you'll shift gears, giving your brain an endpoint to orient around. What matters most isn't filling every hour with activity. It's making your time feel like your own. So if you lose hours when you're alone, know this. Your brain isn't malfunctioning. It's responding to the environment. When anchors disappear, so does the sense of time. That's not a flaw. It's just how perception works. Be gentle with yourself. Pay attention to how you feel when you return. Trust that you're allowed to spend time in ways that don't look impressive from the outside. This is general education, not medical advice. If time slipping seriously disrupts daily life, consider speaking with a qualified professional.